Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. So, like many of you, I watched the Where Is Wendy Williams show documentary that came on Lifetime. Man, that was really something else. It was a combination of a train wreck, a car crash, all in one. But guess what? It was something that we all needed to see. It needed to be aired. And I'm glad that it was on because it was something that we learned. We learned a number of things, not just about Wendy, but there are things that we need to apply as well, that we need to be aware of. So as before the show even came on, many of us knew, we were informed that Wendy had dementia. Her cognitive functions were affected, particularly language and communication. And you guys know that is what her career is based off of, right? Doctors said that it was due to prolonged alcoholism. Now, you also know Wendy has admitted to drug abuse. She's admitted to having Graves' disease. And I know she has a few other issues going on as well. I cannot pronounce the name of them. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to even try to do so. I'm not in the medical field. That's not my ministry, right? But yes, I don't have Graves' disease, okay, but I do have a thyroid condition. I do have to take medication, prescribed medication for it. When I do so, it has to be on an empty stomach. I can't even take a vitamin at the same time that I take my Synthroid. Now, seeing Wendy drinking alcohol, I know that's a no-no. Not at the same time that you're going to be taking drugs for Graves' disease, much less everything else that she's going through. So that was definitely a concern for me. Okay. Now, moving forward with the story, we all know now that the guardian was not a family member. It's a court-appointed one that they have given her. A lot of times, courts will actually not choose a family member. They will actually use an agency that has guardians. Instead of using a family member, all right? But in this particular case, from what I found out, the guardian is actually a former financial advisor and a friend, I'm going to put quotation marks around that Wendy actually fired, okay? So that was really concerning to me that was even done. Moving forward, Wendy claims that this guardian has been stealing money from her, and Wendy's family says that the guardian has been preventing them from contacting her. She is the only one that can contact them. All right. Now, when I was at the caucus last weekend, there was a lawyer there that said that if Wendy had an irrevocable trust in place, then the court would have never been able to do that. She would have been able, she actually said that when you put your property and your accounts and everything under an irrevocable trust, you can still apply for SSI and Medicaid. It protects you from vultures because you're more susceptible to them when everything is in your name, right? Now, I don't know about Wendy getting SSI and Medicaid because she do have a lot of money. I'm not sure how that would go about, but this is something that the lawyer mentioned, okay? Now, there was also a judge in the audience that presides over estate planning, and she was saying that, it is really sad that people don't realize that when you're in the court during these vulnerable times, judges only look at what's on paper. If it's not on paper, then, that don't don't think that most of them are going to, go with emotion. They won't. And also, she was saying that she's so tired of people expecting her to teach them about estate planning. So she was like, yeah, we need financial literacy taught in the school. So I was like, oh, yes, I was here for it because, see, I have actually gone to my politicians and mentioned that we need this. We need to talk about financial literacy in the school. It needs to be taught in the school. The response that I got back was that it wasn't the most important thing that our people needed. So now that this judge has said that, I was like, oh, yes, so happy, so happy, But as far as myself is concerned, I realized that when it comes to estate planning, I really haven't done enough. I need to do a little bit more. I haven't, and to be honest, I started the ball rolling, but I didn't complete it because my life is a little complicated. I have 2 businesses, I have my job, I have stocks, bonds, and all of that. So it takes a while. It takes a while, even jewelry and everything else like that. It's a lot. So don't put too much pressure on yourself thinking that you can get this done in one day, especially those of you who are my age. No, it's going to take a while. Okay. It may take weeks, it may take months, but yeah, this is something that we have to get done because we never know. We might be in Wendy's place. We might not necessarily be alcoholics or drug addicts, or have grave disease or any of the other issues that she has, but you never know when you'll get into some type of accident where you can't work anymore. And then what are you going to do? Who's going to take care of you? Right? You don't want to leave that in the court's hands. That's what I was told when I was up there in the caucus. You want to make that decision as soon as possible when you're in your right mind, while you're in your right mind. Okay, guys? So that's what I want to mention to you guys. And then also, listen, find out who your representatives are and talk to them about bringing financial literacy in the schools, because a lot of these politicians, they may have a video or 2 on social media, but that doesn't necessarily mean they play on social media the same way we do. Okay, a lot of times they don't. They're not listening. So you got to get in their face. So find out who your local representative is and let them know there needs to be some changes done. All right. But anyway, getting back to what I've been learning is that when it comes to guardianship, there are actually 2 types of guardians. There's the fiduciary ones, the ones that do finance and legal, and then you have those that do health. All right. Now, if you have an adult who is disabled, there are a number of qualifications that they use when choosing a guardian. First, age. Now, when Wendy was starting to unravel, if you will, I believe her son was only 17, so he was too young. Next, criminal activity is the second thing that they look at. And then lastly, they didn't specify it, but I believe they also look at finances. Okay. So when I looked at Wendy's family, the only person that I saw that would qualify the best would be the niece. Okay, not the son, not the brother, not even the sister, but the niece would have been the best one to take over. But for whatever reason, maybe she didn't want to do it. Maybe she didn't feel qualified to do it, or what have you. I know that her mother did want to do it. Her mother did want to go ahead with training. Someone had said that Kevin Sr. Said that the sister was played. I don't know what that really, that Debmar and Mercury, the company that has the Wendy show, played her in some kind of way and blocked her from getting that training to be guardian. I'm not sure if that's true. I did a little background check. It may be another reason from what I saw. So, you got to take that with a grain of salt. Okay? But yes, those are the qualifications for a guardian. The next thing, let's talk about the duties of a guardian. The guardian has to get permission from the court when they want to do certain things. They have to file an annual report, and they have to notify the court of any significant changes. But I'm going to let you guys know this. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. The court systems are backed up. So they're not really checking every I that's dotted and every T that's crossed. Many lawyers and judges have retired. Some have left, just got up and left the profession altogether to fulfill their inner passion. Okay, so the court system is really backed up. And then with what happened through COVID, there are still cases, like something could happen to you in 2022 and you may not necessarily be able to see a judge or be in front of the judge until like 2023, 2024. I've already been to court twice. I know what I'm saying. All right. Plus, I work at a law firm. Not as a lawyer, but I work at a law firm, so I know. Okay, so yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy on the family. And then also, most guardians are there for life. Okay, most guardians are there for life. And again, I'll repeat, family does not, and usually in most cases, they're not even chosen to be guardian unless it's written in the will or in the trust. Now, some of you may say, well, what's the difference? From the lawyer that was there, she said, well, if it's in the will, it still has to go to court. It still has to go to probate, but they honor whatever is written in the will. Okay. Now, some of you may be concerned, so that you know, if you are a New Yorker, particular New York City, let me be more specific. You can get a will for free. Just dial 311 and they should direct you to the right department to help you do so. Otherwise, okay, because that's only really for people who make a certain amount of money. Otherwise, your other alternative is to go to Legal Shield. Yes, I do see free forms and stuff like that online. Honestly, I wouldn't trust it. I would use it as like a beginning, but in the end, I would still go with the lawyer. To be honest with you, I wouldn't trust those 100%. Okay? Next thing that I wanted to go over is some people, including myself, I was wondering, why would the family be denied? Why would judges not want to choose a family member to be guardian? Besides what I just mentioned above as far as requirements, sometimes there are other little things that may set a judge off. For example, if the family does not show up in court when they are supposed to show up in court, that can concern a judge. If there's any family disputes, that can also concern a judge. It's still not clear to me if any of these would apply to Wendy's particular case with her family, but those are the two things that was taught to, that I was told. It could be something else, to be honest with you, that I'm not familiar with, but those are the two main things that I was, that they mentioned, that's why a judge might deny a family guardianship. Now, guardians, a lot of times they do exercise their rights over power of attorney. Power of attorney is not as stringent as a guardian or a conservatorship. So if a guardian is put in place, a lot of times they will exercise their right over somebody who has power of attorney, just so that you know. All right. Next, when it comes to getting new guardians, guardians actually choose when they want to resign. A lot of times they're there for life, as mentioned before. Okay. The other times they get taken off is if they do something wrong. Any physical abuse, any mental abuse, financial abuse, then you can go to court. Yes, the family has to go to court and get them removed. All right. Otherwise, many times people have gone to the press. So I guess this is the Williams family last resort. They're not necessarily on the press, but they actually, this may be why they did the show, so that the judge can see exactly what's going on. Because, certain things you can't necessarily just take a picture, or you can't necessarily just say X, Y, and Z. Maybe the judge doesn't get it. So maybe they feel that doing this show, they can show it to the judge. And then also by showing it to us and us talking about it so much, then this alone puts enough pressure on them to say, okay, we need to definitely make a change. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to let you guys know is that there are associations that are fighting for a change of this. There is the Advocates of National Association to Stop Guardian Abuse. They have actually proposed a law. It's called the Uniform Guardianship, Conservatorship, and Protective Arrangements Act. It's already been passed in Maine and Washington. It's been adopted as a law, but it has not been passed in other states. Okay. I know Virginia is looking into something similar, but they have not passed it as of yet. All right. Now, you also have the National Association of Guardians, the National Disability Groups, you have AARP, and you have Alzheimer's groups. These are all separate groups. They're not necessarily working together, but they are working to make some changes with guardianships because, yes, abuse has happened. And not only just abuse, but sometimes what they do, like if they don't like a family member or if they don't like a family, they will do whatever they can do to keep the person that they are guardianship over away from their family. So these groups are here to stop that. So that is another thing that when you go to your local representative and talk to them about financial literacy, you may also want to mention that they need to look at this act, they need to look at this law and have this changed. And you may also want to reach out to some of these groups and find out what you can do, how you can help them spread the word, or, how you can help them do whatever it is that they do, advocate. Maybe they're going up to Washington or to your state capital to propose the law. You can go with them, during that particular day, or just sign a petition that they may have to say that they want this law put in place. Everybody does things differently. We all need to do what we can, but I say before we even do all of this, let's get our paperwork in order. And let's not wait. Even for those of you who are in your 20s, don't say, I'm going to wait until I'm 50 to fill this paperwork out. Remember, Wendy is 59 years old. So for those of us who are already 50, we definitely need to get on the ball with our estate planning. But yes, even those of you who are in your 20s, especially if you have kids, especially if you have a business, especially if you own a home, get your estate planning done. Because we really don't know how long we're going to live. Look at how so many people died in their 30s. Recently, there was a lady, I can't remember her name, who was an AIDS advocate, and she just died at 39, guys. We can't wait. We got to at least get the ball rolling. At least get the ball rolling. Get started. Protect ourselves. Protect our family so that we do not end up in this particular predicament. And let me tell you, Wendy is able to put this on TV and to have this whole show and everything because she has the money to do it. Think about all those families, all those individuals who are going through the same thing and they don't have the money that Wendy Williams has. They don't have the power, they don't have the clout that Wendy Williams has. In some ways, it's a good thing that it happened to Wendy. Because she has the power and the clout, all these people who for so many years have been trying to say that there are people who are abusing the system who are guardians. There are people who are taking advantage and doing these kind of things. Maybe it's good that it happened to her because now she's the face of it now. And I believe a change will come, and it will come soon, but we have to be proactive. We have to. All right, guys, so that's all I wanted to share with you tonight. Hopefully the information will help you make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this amongst your friends. Why? Because each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.